I've never spoken to such a large crowd in my life, but here goes. As Cheryl said, I'm Pat Hayes' sister. I'm Craig Hayes, Pastor Hayes' sister-in-law, William Ziegler's wife, Pastor Gary Ziegler's stepmother. Why am I giving you all those credentials? I want you to know that what I'm about to tell on my precious Pastor Craig Hayes is the truth. It's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Pat and Craig have been married for 35 years, and in their life they had 2 encounters with each other. First time was Craig was 22 years old in the Air Force. Tall, slim, good looking, but a bowl of energy. Craig could not keep still. He was a man on the move. And he talked fast, walked fast. He was just a bowl of energy. How we met Craig was when he was in the Air Force, on the weekends, he would come to Los Angeles. He was stationed at Edwards Air Force Base, and he was the chauffeur. He would bring a couple of his Air Force buddies with him, and one of the buddies that he would bring was a boy of mine. So, anyway, this fella stayed at our house on the weekends with my mother's approval, and Craig would drop him off, and being the gentleman that Craig still is, he wouldn't just drop him off, he would come in the house, and he would greet my mother, he would greet Pat, and myself. Well, Pat at that time was rather shy, timid, slow. Talking about second look, Craig didn't give her first look. She was too slow for him. So, before we knew it, Craig would be gone. All we could see was the smoke from his car, because he had a young lady waiting on him. And he didn't waste any time getting to her. So, 22 years passed, and Craig and Pat's path met again 22 years later. And this was on a blind date. And by that time, life had kind of taken its toll. Bowl of fire that we met him 22 years ago. Life, fast women, and alcohol had taken its toll. So when he met Pat again for the second time, Craig took to Pat like a duck takes to water. Now, Pat was still rather shy and slow, but that was what Craig wanted. So in the meantime, Pat brought Craig over for me to meet him. And I didn't realize that we had met him years ago. But anyway, Craig at that time had taken a vow to God that if he would remove the taste of alcohol from him, he wouldn't drink anymore. And as I understand, it happened overnight. God took that taste from Craig, and he never drank again. But when I met him, Craig was getting over that alcohol. And I didn't realize it, but he was using coffee to fight that craving of alcohol over his body. So when Craig came in, I, being the nice hostess that I am, I offered him some refreshments. And Craig immediately said, "Oh, I'll take a cup of coffee." I said, "Oh, fine, no problem." So I fixed him a cup of coffee. He drank that, and pretty soon after he said, "Oh, ma'am, do you mind if I have another cup of coffee?" So I said, "Okay." Well, to make a long story short, and you know I gave you my credentials, I'm not lying. Before Craig and Pat left that night, Craig must have drank about 10 to 15. And so when they left, I did what most sisters do. I got on the phone and I called my sister Myrna. I said, "Myrna, I met Pat's new fella. I said, he seems nice enough, but boy, does he love some coffee." So I know that Craig has been a blessing to Crenshaw Christian Center, but you can't imagine what a blessing he has been to our family. We look upon Craig not as a brother-in-law, but as a blood brother. We love him to pieces. And also, in closing, when Craig was just getting over the alcohol, his complexion wasn't the greatest. He had splotches and his complexion was rather ruddy. But look at that complexion today. It's prettier than mine. Look what God can do.
I bet you ain't gonna let her talk no more. She done told all the dirt. Oh, I know she'd tell everything, but you know. That was so cute. I can't believe you said my Trisha was slow. Trisha wasn't slow, she was smart. She saw him, she's like, "Oh, fool, do your thing. You'll be back." You go, Trisha. And she is the boss. They are so cute together. Craig is forever talking about, "Oh, Pat wants this, and Pat said this, and Pat. Pat, you getting your own, you get to get them all the time now. You're just gonna take them out to the desert, and you be the boss." I love it. Pat, my Trisha wasn't slow. Wasn't that just like a sister? That was like me talking about Angie. Because I probably would say you were slow. But anyway, that's okay. Anyway. Okay, so we have a few more friends. So I'd like to call